So I had the idea of doing literature-themed craft projects on my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the first one of those. I'm going to be showing you how to use normal printer paper and tea bags to make what looks like an old love letter. So to start off this project, I've copied out the letter from Frederick to Anne from Persuasion by hand onto a piece of normal printer paper. This is my corner where I brew my tea, and I'm going to just switch this on, and I'm going to put some black tea in this bowl. This kettle actually doesn't whistle, but when the light turns off, it's done boiling. Alright, we'll give it a moment to cool down, and then very carefully while I'm waiting for the tea to brew, one thing I'm going to do is crumple the paper. That'll give it an old look, like it's been through a lot. It can even help to tear it a little bit. Although I would recommend being careful with this because you can go too far and make it kind of unreadable. That should do it, I think. Another thing I can do while I wait is take a trash bag and lay it down over the surface that I'm going to work on. So the tea has brewed and I've let it cool down, and now I'm going to pour it in this tub. Usually when you find instructions for this, it says to use a baking sheet, which is great if you have a baking sheet. I don't bake, so I have this tub and I'm using that instead. Really anything that will hold the tea and that is kind of a flat surface that's big enough to put the paper in, it'll work. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to put it inside. And as you can see, the paper is soaking up the tea. And actually I can kind of smush it under, and that will help. But I want to be careful not to rub it because this is handwritten in ink and it is not waterproof ink. So what I don't want to have happen is for the ink to smear. If it smears a little bit, that's okay. But I want it to still be readable when we're done. And I'm going to crinkle it again a little bit. Just being really careful because of the ink. Alright, I'm not going to keep holding the camera over the tea because I'm worried I'll drop it. But we'll check in on it in a little bit. Okay, I've let the paper soak for a couple of minutes, and now what I'm going to do is take it out. And I'm going to try and be really careful with this because I don't want it to tear any more than it already is torn. And I'm going to lay it down right here. And I can, either with my hand or with a tea bag, scoop up a little bit more tea and just drop it. And then this needs to sit and dry. Before I leave it to sit, here's what it looks like all wet with tea. And then after letting it sit overnight, here's how it came out. It's all dry, and it's very crinkled looking. So here it is. We're done. I can listen no longer in silence. I must speak to you by such means as are within my reach. You pierce my soul. I am half agony, half hope. Tell me that I am not too late, that such precious feelings are gone forever.
I offer myself to you again, with a heart even more your own than when you almost broke it, 8 years and a half ago. Dare not say that a man forgets sooner than a woman, that his love has an earlier death. I have loved none but you. Unjust I may have been, weak and resentful I have been, but never inconstant. You alone have brought me to Bath. For you alone I think and plan. Have you not seen this? Can you fail to have understood my wishes? I had not waited even these 10 days could I have read your feelings as I think you must have penetrated mine. I can hardly write. I am every instant hearing something which overpowers me. You sink your voice, but I can distinguish the tones of that voice when they would be lost on others. Too good, too excellent creature, you do us justice indeed. You do believe that there is true attachment and constancy among men. Believe it to be most fervent, most undeviating in F.W. I must go, uncertain of my fate, but I shall return hither or follow your party as soon as possible. A word, a look, will be enough to decide whether I enter your father's house this evening or never.